We're live on the interwebs, man.
Wow.
Are you scared? Without announcement.
Surprise.
Howdy, guys. Rex here, and we got Mr. Val Latu, and we're checking out something that we've all been poking around with a little bit. There's been some other guys. We're just visiting with George not too long ago. We'll upload that after a little bit, but we've been talking about the G2 for a little while. Some folks knew that it was coming around the corner. There's been rumors of it and its performance, and everyone's got a pretty good chance to take a good look at it. We will be running this at this weekend's ELR class at Hawks Double Mountain Ranch by Rotan, Texas. So we're going to get a lot more footage of this. Stand by for a comprehensive review of this optic. But thus far, we can just give you kind of a first look. And we're sitting here with Val. I thought it'd be cool to be able to visit with Val and kind of see what's going on. Howdy, guys. Chris Roxbury, right? Is that him? Oh, yeah. See, I'm explaining the internet to Val.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
found, and we're both kind of, not into this deal as much, but there's a button on there where it goes live.
Wow.
See,
okay.
that's the little dude's talking down there. See there?
That looks nice.
It is nice. So,
Anyway,
yeah,
so
say
sure.
howdy to Val, guys.
Hi, everybody.
That scope probably costs more than my truck. Actually, guys, this one, just stay tuned for the price. I don't think.
I didn't even open my mouth yet. It's just anticipate. But first of all, I wanna thank all of the customers out there, all the guys that for the last 3 years have been so understanding and patient. Because probably a lot of them know that we had a very, very difficult situation with scope supply.
Scope supply.
I'm
You
not
sold too many and they didn't make enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly happened, and
Sure.
What-
Well, high items or highly complex items like that that are done to such a degree of quality sometimes take a while,
yeah.
And so,
But the bottom line is, I wanted to thank everybody for understanding and waiting. I mean, some guys waited a year to get a scope, so.
yeah, I always tell people when they're looking for one of them recons, the IOR
Yeah.
recon,
Yeah,
the first one or whatever, that like it's rare as hen's teeth, and it's like probably easier to find the Ark of the Covenant than it is to find one of them things online for sale. Because when people get them, they keep them, and there's not a lot of supply of them. So these though actually should be in a lot better supply.
sure. Well, that situation is what determined and forced us to go and find, a product that we can have a steady supply, and that's what this is.
Howdy,
Finally,
Sarge. How you
after-
doing? I'm seeing their names pop up there. I know these guys.
So-
A lot of them.
It took a while to get done because of what I wanted them to do and how to do it. But
Mhm.
here we are. This is a prototype that came in 3, maybe 4 months ago, just before the SHOT Show.
Yep.
And now, so what's today? The May 8th, 9th? I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot what the
Anyway, but the bottom line is the first 200 pieces are gonna be delivered on the 23rd of May, so we have a couple of weeks, and we're finally gonna get them.
So like you're thinking in a couple weeks you'll be able to sell these things.
Yes, we're supposed to get the first ones.
So I know, yeah, and now this one is kind of a different animal in some ways, but it retains a lot of the best features of the other one.
Yes, this one is the type of a scope that has kind of all the basics, everything you need, and nothing you don't, kind of deal.
Yeah, it's a lot more
Simple.
streamlined and simple.
Yep.
This one is made in Japan.
Yes.
So you're going to see a different degree of refinement from the high-end Japanese stuff. This is actually pretty good in terms of Japanese glass when you're looking at it. And actually, it's not even Japanese glass for most of here. Just the objective lens is Japanese.
Yes, the objective lenses is Japanese glass. We went through this for about 6 months back and forth, and the manufacturer determined that the best way to obtain maximum performance for the best value is to make the objective lenses with the best Japanese HD glass.
Yep.
And they assured me that they can match any manufacturer in the world as far as the quality of the glass and polishing and also coating. And all of the internal, the smaller lenses with shot glass.
You did go with shot.
Yeah.
So the shot German glass is through all the erector assembly and all the other lenses.
Correct.
And the only lens in here is the objective, which was Japanese because of just the engineering parameters
Yes,
that they
and
needed to have to make it be done correctly.
their efficiency, or whatever they, they are familiar with that type of glass because it took a while to make sure they can get supplied with that particular glass. So, anyway,
Now, I mean, what strikes me right off the bat is the proportions are kind of unique looking. It's got kind of this one has a larger lens diameter in the front. This is a 56 millimeter.
Right.
The other Recon
The
from IOR
original.
has a 50 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
This is still a 40 millimeter main tube.
Yeah.
Most of my guys have seen this before in some of the other ones. It's a 4.8 power to 30, right? So you got a little more adjustment. You got a little higher magnification than in
an original,
the original.
Yeah, you got 30 instead of 28
Yep.
at the top.
You have like how many mils of adjustment?
Well, first of all, it's a first focal plane mill.
Okay.
The MOA should be also coming approximately September. Okay, and this one is first focal mill has let's see, 150 minutes, which in mils is about 42 mils total.
So you got 42 mils of adjustment, okay?
Yeah.
That's a lot of adjustment actually. That's one of the features on this thing that's really cool. Is you got like for ELR type stuff, in the price range that this thing is going to be in, guys. Like this is there's going to be nothing that matches that amount of adjustment and that price. So I'm excited to see how folks like it because I know that like George and some of the other guys, Glenn, right, was another gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Well, what happened? We got 3 prototypes. So I try to send it out to 3 different groups that know very little or nothing at all about it, not
Right.
connected. So
Yep.
we get true opinions from different groups.
Yep.
Honest opinion and all that. So,
Yeah, a photographer and a field user and
Yes.
engineers and myself and whoever else.
George,
Yep.
he was one of the guys that really
Really
put it
liked
through
it.
his paces, and short range, 100 yards to 1,000 yards, 2,000 yards, back and forth, on his 338. So anyway.
So when you're looking at the elevation turret, you got 10 mils per revolution on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your illumination knob inside your parallax knob, which is, this isn't a front parallax, this is actually on the side, so you can see where you're at without lifting your head up.
Yep.
I was fond of the front parallax for like aesthetic reasons and some other reasons that there's certain features that are nice about that, but in all honesty, it's just a lot more efficient use of space and probably structurally maybe a little better just designed in some ways, and it's a lot more conventional. So this is a feature set that most guys are going to desire. I like having the illumination knob inside here. A Schmidt has it back here, so it takes up the real estate where you can mount it.
Exactly.
This one is a little bit better feature set for that.
Also, there's a little difference between this illumination and the original Recon in the sense that this one has an off position between
Between each setting.
each setting level. Yeah.
So you can just click over to off and then pick up
Yep.
where you left off.
One
Yep.
off, 2 off, 3
It's
off.
a nice
So,
feature, yep.
Yeah.
Likewise, 150 some minutes, he said, and 42
Mils, yeah.
mils of adjustment. Like a PM2 has just a little bit over 20 mils of adjustment. So with this thing, theoretically, even without any kind of tilted rail, you can go out like really incredibly far.
Yeah, on a
But with
6.5, you can reach way out there.
you can go as far as the cartridge will go. But what you can do if you're doing ELR
Yeah.
is you can ramp this up. How much can you ramp it up? See, if you put like a 40,
40.
or no, tell me.
Well,
I'm ready for this.
If you want a 0 at 100 yards, theoretically, you can put a 75 MOA base on it and be
75 MOA
and
base.
be bottomed out.
Slice
at
of
100.
pizza.
Yeah. But of course, you don't need that. So a 50 MOA would still give you
Yeah.
15, a lot of adjustment.
Yeah,
Plus-
so if you put a 50 minute rail on here,
Yep.
and then plus the 42, well,
You
yeah,
could-
you'd use
you'll
up.
have 125 minutes
Exactly.
at your disposal. Okay.
And then
which
plus the reticle, which this has what is this, the MP8, Val? Is that what you call it?
It's the MP8 modified, and
Where's the
also
camera? Oh, there it is.
I wanted to mention that that's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough to get in.
There it is.
Oh, live TV. Oh dear, there it is.
So anyway, the thing about this one though,
Oh, it's on 30 power. No wonder it's hard to get.
is that the lines of the reticle are a little bit thinner than the original Recon. So yeah, that's tough.
It's not going to focus, guys.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed too is we set these side by side with the IOR, the first,
The original Recon?
the original Recon.
Yeah.
And then this is the G2 from Japan. With the 40 millimeter main tube, it's kind of hard to tell the difference in terms of that giant eye box that the guy sees.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, honestly, when I first looked at both of these side by side, when I came down here a couple months ago, and we're out at HDMR, and we're looking at that target at 2250 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought, okay, I'm ready to tear this thing apart. I'm going to shred it, and I'm going to tell Val all this stuff. And I do tell people things anyways, but it was pretty darn close, practically speaking, man. Like, you really kind of have to look for it, like in terms of like clarity and quality. And the main thing I really like about what it feels like behind a 40 millimeter main tube is what I was thinking it would lack, and I don't know what the specs on the Rector tube were, but visually speaking, looking at it side by side with the IOR, the first one, and this one being the Japanese one, the G2, you can't really, even me who's got a lot of time on the other one, I couldn't really discern that much of a difference in terms of how the eye box felt. The lenses are really good in this too. I mean,
it's really,
It's-
if you ask me,
Yeah.
it really comes down to the taste of the shooter as far as the image.
Yep.
If you like
yeah, because this is, the European glass is warm.
warmer, yeah,
Very,
it's
very
a little
warm.
warmer,
And
yeah.
this has got a lot of European glass in it. The objective is Japanese.
Yes.
So it's not maybe as roasty,
it's in
toasty
between.
warm,
Yeah.
but it's a hybrid between
Yeah.
if you get a really good Night Force or any of the Tier 1 Japanese glass, it has a cooler look to it, like a little more blue.
Yeah.
This is kind of a mix of that. And so,
It's
Yeah.
really outstanding.
but it is Apple chromatically corrected Japanese high density glass.
Yeah.
Yep, with all the latest coatings. I know that you spend a lot of time getting the springs and stuff correct in here so that you have the good reliability. And I know that from all the screwing around we've done with this and with this mechanism, I mean, and the zero stop and everything, the way it sets up a little easier, but the mechanism is very reliable as well.
Yes, I
And-
insisted on
Yep.
the absolute best springs,
Yep.
ball bearings, metals, and all of the gears. So I was guaranteed that there's the best they have.
Yep.
As far as the technology you can find in Japan.
Yeah, and so like my honest assessment after looking at it for the first phase of kind of testing, so to speak, where you're just zeroing it, dialing it, checking basic tracking, these things track pretty much dead on with all the other Tier 1 Japanese scopes. They're really good. The reliability is good. It's something you're going to be able to rely on. And the glass is very, very good. I'd say it's better than the other Japanese scopes I've seen because it's using German glass in there. It has to be German glass. But yeah, and then I think the 56 millimeter objective makes up for maybe the fact that it's Japanese, because like the other one was a 50, right?
It's
So
a
this
50.
is a bigger lens. So it's like I honestly really can't tell the difference.
It's like
That's my long
splitting
story.
hairs.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool, and the nice thing about this is it's looking a lot more positive on the supply chain end.
Yes.
So they should actually be available, and
Although I've been going back and forth with emails with IOR, and it looks like the situation is going to improve. They assured me that
that's good.
they're working on it, so hopefully we'll go back to normal as far as their
Supply chain on the other series, but
Yeah.
yeah. Well, while we're waiting for that deal, this deal is. I mean, this has been in the works for a while, man. I remember talking about it for a while, so it's pretty cool. So, sorry,
The length of it, just
it's the same length, right?
yes, they're right there, both of the same length.
So it's actually relatively compact for being a big stout 40 millimeter.
Yeah.
And the weight's approximately the same too, right?
Approximately the same. So
Yeah.
bottom line is 56 over the 50.
So here's the actual size. We're doing a forced perspective,
Yeah.
so it looks huge and awesome. But like, here's the actual size. It's actually quite a manageable scope size.
Yeah, it's for that kind of power level is compact. At the time when the Recon came out, that was by far the shortest scope in that magnification range. Yeah, that's a new beast.
This is Italian, you told me, right?
Yes,
So
style.
Italian style?
Yes, very nice.
It wasn't
finish
made
is
next to a
impeccable.
pizzeria over there?
No.
I'm getting hungry for pizza.
Well, we're gonna go have some.
Okay. But tell me about this this setup.
Well, the one-piece mounts are getting to be very, very popular as a lot more people are shooting the big magnums. So they prefer the one-piece instead of the regular touring set.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're gonna have very, very soon a new bubble system where the bubble is gonna be in a much more comfortable position to
Yep.
see it above the side focus level. You know, you'll see it when we get it. We'll do a little review. So it's a newer idea, you know, just to make things easier, more efficient.
Last guy I was talking about, he says that he's met us both. We have broad shoulders, so when I move the scope back here, that still means it's a big scope.
It's not small, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But compared to all other models that are in this magnification range, it's quite compact.
Now on this, you got little spots for Picatinny
Picatinny
on the
rail,
sides,
both sides,
so you can accessorize it with whatever you need to.
and we're gonna use this spots as well to attach the bubble.
So you could have a scope mounted on the scope
Yes.
and another scope mounted on this side, the triple scope.
Yeah, or a light on
Or,
that side, or a red dot.
Val,
on
you
that
could
side.
have you could have like a really small scope mounted on each side, and you could have like the binocular scope, and then focus them into the same
Yeah,
spot.
that's an idea.
It's not. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. We are live. I'm not editing that out. How you guys doing? Any questions for Mr. Val or myself? How you guys doing?
What's the chance of making Rex Ninja Mount with a built-in 60 MOA?
What kind of ninja mounts you got out so far? You got any? What's the minute of angle on them right now?
We got 45 right now.
45 is a lot,
45.
guys. That's a heck of a good start right there.
And Ninja Mount gets mounted on a Picatinny. So you can combine 45 plus. A lot of long-range rifles right now are coming already with a 20 MOA built-in receiver, Picatinny receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So if you add another 45, you're 65.
Yep. You don't have a little Allen screw, do you? With the Allen wrenches? They said elaborate on the zero stop.
We're gonna make a separate video for that,
Okay.
exclusively for the zero stop.
Yep. When I do the comprehensive review, I'll definitely put that in there, and also we'll shoot a separate video for that to give you kind of a preview. It's a little disc with 3 little set screws in it, and a little pin on the other side of another pin. You just simply get the scope zeroed, and then you pull that deal up, and then
No, it just drops right
you
there.
just
where
drop
your
it down there. You
zero
tighten the
is.
screws on there.
Yes, and then when you put the knob back on,
Yeah.
you zero the knob right on the mark.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then you tighten up these 3 screws and done.
Yeah, you'll see in the video. It's hard to explain, and I don't have a wrench with me.
It's more accurate than the other one. The other one was more like a
Friction.
a point of reference kind of deal. It wasn't stopping right there on that click. But
So
this
it's a
one-
more conventionally made zero stop, which is actually a lot more precise to set.
Yeah.
The other one was very, very robust,
Mhm.
but it was kind of crude how it was set up.
Yes.
So simple. And I still like the other one for a
Yeah,
different
me too.
reason,
Me too, yeah.
but this one's a lot more
Precise.
precise.
Yeah, we're working on other mechanisms, exploring stuff.
Are you going to tell them? They're asking what is the retail going to be for the G2? Is that still top secret?
No, it's not top secret. It'll be under 3 with everything included, the ring set, sunshade, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see when they got.
Yeah.
Maybe we can we're trying to go between 28.95 and 29.50.
Okay.
So
And then we got, what else we got? I'm about to join a new range that's 1,250 yards. What caliber would you recommend for that distance? 1,250? If you're just shooting steel, you can get away with a lot of nice, very mildly recoiling cartridges. A very popular one nowadays is a 6.5 Creedmoor. If you're not a reloader, that's the one I would tell you to get.
Yep.
If you are a reloader, there's pretty much any cartridge really above 5.56. Anything once you get in the 6 millimeters and up should have no problem going to 1,250. But like a 243 Winchester will easily do 1,250 if you reload the right bullets for it. And you know, any of the 6 millimeters, 260s, the 6.5s, 30s, 308 might not quite make it that far. Reliably without the use of proprietary
really
ammunition.
have to work that.
Yeah, and it depends on how hard you want to hit the steel too.
Yeah.
If you really want it to go down, deliver a nice hefty punch, then you got to go with the 408. Retained energy. So we got, is Face Shot Fred going to be in PA for the live fire, or should I bring something similar? Face Shot Fred is Mr. Detour's target. Do you know Nico Detour at all? Okay. He's a professional shooter. He lives out west a little farther. And he's a pretty cool guy. He's got a target he named Face Shoot Fred. And it's a hard thing to explain. It's an inside joke. But he does deliver the hate to Mr. Fred every time he drives past his target. He just got to stop and send a few more. All right. Will we get a Rex discount? Oh, no.
Sure.
Sure? Okay, yeah, you bet
We
you
can
guys.
work on that.
We didn't talk about that yet.
Any optics for PRS production? 2000 map. Yep.
What do you recommend
Well,
for that, Val?
Well, we've had the 3.5 to 18 by 50 for years. That one came out in 2010, and it was very, very popular, that scope. Before the Recon, it was our best-selling scope. Even after the
And
Recon.
what's the tube diameter on that one again?
35.
35 millimeter tube?
Yeah, and that one, you know Paul, he used it on PRS because he shot a lot on the PRS tour. He used that for years, and then when the Recon came in, he started using the Recon. But the 3.5 to 18 by 50 is right at $2,000.
Okay.
With rings included, Sanche, the package.
Right on.
But the problem was we didn't have it in stock for the last time they made it was 2016. But I'm thinking about a week to 10 days we're gonna have that back. And also the other popular scope that Paul loved was a 6 to 24 56. Both of these are first focal mil. So we're supposed to get them back, okay, new production in about a week to 10 days. So these two were probably, also, I wanted to mention, probably some guys saw the video that Paul did on a prototype a couple of years ago. It's a 5 to 25 by 56 that was supposed to.
That's actually a nicely balanced scope.
Yes.
A lot more of that kind of 5 to 25s are very popular.
So,
I got a question here about, because we got a million questions, Val.
okay.
We'll do the
best we
quick
can.
questions and answers deal. Where the heck was it? There was one that was asking, can you mount the silencer co-radius on the sides of this? And I wouldn't think so, man, because if you consider the scope, right? You got these turds sticking off the side. Unless you have a scope without any kind of parallax knob on there, it's going to inhibit, you're going to be in the way. So I'm imagining that would be better for something else. Plus, I'd want that separately mounted on its own mount anyways myself. What do most guys intend to use for this? For the Picatinis on the side? Like backup sights and
Lights,
stuff?
a red dot,
Lights,
little
yep.
micro red dot, stuff
Yep.
like that. We'll
Yep.
find out, I guess.
Yep, absolutely.
The cosine indicator, maybe, I don't know.
All right, we got Flying T Farms. Great discount. I got that 40 millimeter tube Ninja in 25. Oh, he's asking, do you have the Ninja in 25 minute of angle yet? Yep, he's got them, man.
Yep.
Check out the website. Give Val a call
Yep.
during working hours, not right now.
Yeah, hold on. I see something about a 16.
Where was the
I
16?
just want to say
Oh, right there.
that, thank you, to Rex for recommending.
So, all right, we'll read it so that the other people
I'll
can
let
see
you
it.
handle that, because
Just want to say thank you to Rex for recommending IOR and Val for his customer service. I'm enjoying my 6-42 scope.
1642.
Oh, yeah, 1642, yep. What about the maximum range? What's about the maximum range to put a 308 175 out to? Depends how good of a shooter you are, depends on your atmospherics, depends on a lot of things.
Ammo.
Yeah, the 175s.
Yeah, but
Yep. Yeah, it depends on which
you give it a
175s
lot.
you're running. Yep. If you're running like just M118, you can get out to 11 if you're really good. Miss Casey Day was shooting 175s at 11 at our RX 17 class last year. And she was like, hitting it more, like, I don't know, 50% of the time at
She
least.
did fantastic.
Yeah, she hit on the first 2 shots, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but past 1100 is really pushing it. I mean, you might hit something, but you're going to have to shoot a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Who is a Canadian distributor? I get this question a lot, and I don't know what that is. Is there a Canadian distributor? This is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
Do you sell these in Canada, Val? No.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Canada is really.
Pain in the butt.
No, it's a strange situation, because you would think that it should be free flowing back and forth, no problem. But you really need to get your paperwork done.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And-
International stuff, yeah.
And they did have IOR, did have an importer in Canada, and because I did not want to export. But I'm not sure. I got quite a few calls too, and I guess the guys are done, or I don't know what happened.
Okay. What is the reticle in my PM2? A P4 fine reticle is what I use on that one. Let's see. Any other questions, you guys? Any chance of a retrofit zero stop locking turrets for the 1.5 to 8?
No, the 1.5 to 8 first focal is only 2 revolutions.
Okay.
So again, another example of just keep the price down and keep things simple.
Okay. Can we touch on turret tracking from Michael Inman? Yeah, so like according to the test that George did, he said it was like dead on accurate. He did a very tall test. The other guy reported very similar results when I tested him. I did just get to plink around with it so far a little bit. It's pretty much dead on balls accurate with all your tier 1 Japanese glass. For all practical applications, it's 100% reliability so far, which means that like that. And the main criteria you got to look for in tracking is the reliability of the tracking. And so the springs and the extra resources you put into the turret mechanisms when you're talking to the Japanese on this was to ensure that it's not going to get hung up. It's not going to have some of the problems that you're going to experience with other outfits in this general competition range for Japanese scopes. It's going to be amongst the top of the Japanese as far as I can tell so far. It's going to be right out there at the top of the other ones. It's very reliable tracking.
It's the first one in 40 millimeter.
Yep, it's the first one in 40 millimeter too. So, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see, exactly.
We'll have to see. If you guys do pick these up, make sure you share how it's doing with Val. Call him, let me know, and I can communicate it to him, or just call Val. He'd be the one that would want to know for sure. 300 Win Mag versus 6.5 Creedmoor. All right, easy answer. 300 Win Mag when you need to kill stuff at long range, and 6.5 Creedmoor when you want to hit stuff at long range but don't need to kill it because it's way more efficient just to hit stuff. Lower recoil on the 6.5.
Yep.
But I wouldn't get a 300
6.5
Win Mag unless you actually need energy on target. You know what I mean?
6.5 it's just so hard to beat.
Yeah.
7.300. Be the next level, right?
I'm sorry, what's that?
7.300 would be the next level.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of other Wildcats in there too. Yep, there's a million cartridges. All right, let's see go back down the bottom, see if we got anything there. That collapsible mini spotting scope coming back. Do you still have that?
I just reordered it because I had.
Okay, you
I
were
had a
sold out.
few
You
and
reordered.
I sold out the last one, so they should be coming back. Yeah, that was never. That's okay. That's a German product. Comes from Optolith, Germany, and we never had problem with supply. from
Okay.
Optolith, you know. We had all the binoculars, their most popular is a 1563.
And actually, them Optilus spotting scopes
Yeah.
are like one of my favorites, man. Like,
That eyepiece with a
yeah,
MRAT
it's
with a reticle.
with the wide angle.
It
Like
is
when guys
insane.
look at it, they poop themselves. One of my buddies that I shoot with all the time has a Swarovski, and it's really nice scope.
Yep.
It doesn't have the reticle, which makes it difficult to direct rifle fire with. But when you look through them, that Optolith is every bit as good as that Swarovski, if
No,
not maybe.
no, I
a
don't
little-
agree with that.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's better.
Well, yeah,
Here's the thing.
that's what.
Here's the thing. It was, I didn't even know what I had, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But when we went and shot that 2250 target.
Yeah.
And we had 4 spotting scope, a Vortex, which we leave on the side, and there was a Leica HD and a Swarovski HD and the Optolith. Now we put the 20 to 60 eyepiece on the Optolith, all German ones. I mean, Swarovski is Austrian, but anyway, they were dead nuts the same. Same
Yep.
field of view, same eye relief, same
Yeah, it's identical with
but when you
yeah.
put the 30 power MRAT eyepiece on that
It op-
Optolith,
yeah.
it's a different level altogether. It's unbelievable.
It's
You have
very
to see-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that eyepiece on there, it's incredible. What Valdada optic for AR-50? So it depends on how far you want to shoot that AR-50, and AR-50 is really designed for extreme range. If you're talking about the Armalite
Yeah,
AR-50,
it's a 50 cal.
well, there's different AR-50s too. I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
Okay.
But there's some other models. But with the Armalite AR-50, it's a very, very heavy, very, very accurate rifle, single shot.
Yep.
I would take advantage of the accuracy of that cartridge, and yeah, I mean something like this actually is going to give you the adjustment range. You're going to have absolutely no problems with the adjustment out to the max range of that cartridge. Really, I mean it's gonna really go pretty far. Or like even like that's where some of the stuff like the Terminator and some of that other stuff is nice too.
Yeah, it depends what your taste is. If you like first focal, MOA, mill, stuff like that, how much magnification you need to use, which depends on how old you are.
308 Scout rifle. What optic?
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
I like stuff on like battle rifles and scout rifles and stuff where you might be close to have like a very low power to like up to 10. On a 308, there ain't no need really to go beyond 10, in all honesty.
Wait a minute, he's probably talking about the long eye relief scout type scope.
Oh, the scout, yeah.
The long eye relief. But the scout, the Steyr scout, also has a cross slot in the back. If you want to mount a regular eye relief scope, you can.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, yeah, I mean, the 10 power is a standard
Yep.
kind of choice. But yeah, if you want a long eye relief scout scope, that's a tough one because there's not much out there.
Does anyone know if this will be available to watch after it's finished? I don't have time to watch. Yeah, dude. This will be up. I'll make sure this gets posted online, okay? Frank Pliskin, I don't think Rex has any pals that don't have a sense of humor. Okay. That is correct, man. If they don't have a sense of humor, they're a drag to be around, man. What's your favorite scope mounts for bolts and ARs? Ooh, depends on exactly what you're trying to get accomplished, man. There's so many different categories. You're talking about a hunting rifle? I like lightweight stuff. There's stuff by D&Z. This is very lightweight, one-piece stuff. Val makes good rings.
Yeah, we have several choices, several.
If you're talking about tactical scopes, I like one-piece stuff like this, actually. The spur is like way heavy duty. This thing looks like it's pretty darn beefy. It's got a wide purchase. Oh, it's got a wide purchase on there.
Yeah.
Forgive me for the quality of the light, guys. It's getting dark. But yeah, in ARs, if you come to the seminar, we answer a lot of those questions.
Yeah.
Yep. I like, for ARs, I like the APAs kind of too. Those are kind of cool because they have the little quick detach deals, or the Rex Ninja mount. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
We're working on the RX Ninja mount. That's definitely the fastest and most reliable as far as return to zero.
Yeah.
And then we're going to work on this one to make this one in a version that's quick detachable as well.
What's the price point on this?
Probably
Still determining
definitely
that too?
Under $300.
Under $300? Okay.
Yeah.
And what are they gonna be? Oh, it's just Picatinny right now?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
yep.
going on the Picatinny, and we offer it 30, 34, 35, and 40 millimeter. 0, 25, 45 MOA.
So he's asking what glass is in the new Gen 2 he's in. It's actually the G2. It's not the Gen 2 Recon. But it's shot glass for all of it here. And then the objective itself is Japanese, Tier 1 Japanese apochromatically corrected glass with their coatings on there. And which outfit in Japan's making this?
Light.
Light Optics in Japan. So all your top grade Tier 1 German optics are made, guys. So it's really good glass. Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, Schott is the Tier 1 German optics, and then Light is where the Japanese got the best stuff.
It took a while to get that done. I tell you, that was...
Yeah. Oh, they had to re-engineer the whole thing from the ground up. You got a 40 millimeter main tube.
Yeah.
It's the first time they ever tried doing that, probably.
No, to make sure that they got supplied with the glass. That's because, Schott has got limited quantities every year.
Oh, do they? Yep.
Oh, and IOR they're waiting, they said 4 to 5 months wait for the glass.
Yeah.
So they're trying to keep stocks.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to build scopes if there's no parts.
No glass, yeah. Well, apparently their problem the last 3 years was the mechanical parts, production capacity.
What can we expect in regards to glass quality between PM2 and Recon? In all honesty, like when I looked at it, it's once you get into this certain like quality range, guys, like you hit like kind of a plateau, and there might be a climb somewhere in there, but it's very hard to discern that. And a lot of that turns into kind of a superstition based on your original confirmation bias preferences. Yeah. So like if you have someone who liked one better than the other, they could argue one way or the other. They're both really, really darn good. It's hard to tell because this one's got a lot larger tube diameter. So it's not kind of fair to compare this to the PM2 because this is bigger. So it's
very hard to compare a 42 against a 34.
Yeah. So it's a whole nother, and when you're talking glass quality, it's another dynamic thing to try to explain in engineering terms. There might be a word for it, but I call it the eye box or what it looks like, how big that. Now, if you look at pupil diameter.
The field of view at the ocular.
Yeah, exactly. The field of view at the ocular. And it's like huge. Like when you sit behind the scope, it's like a large screen TV as opposed to those little ones you had on the shelf with the little antennas and it's black and white and fuzzy.
As I understand it, you have a bigger reticle.
Yeah.
And you get a bigger field.
Yep.
So
it's getting stormy.
You have to balance that with, okay, how much elevation adjustment you want. And it's a balance, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of apples and oranges really, but they're both really nice. We'll put it like that. Yep. Let's see. Hey guys, max lethal range for 22-250. As far as it'll go, it'll probably kill you if it hits you in the right spot. So I wouldn't shoot it at anyone if they're beyond it, unless you wanted them to hurt a lot or die.
2250 is a great.
Yeah, 22-250. There's guys that shoot them out to 900 yards for target shooting applications, but for varmints, I mean, like if you're shooting a prairie dog, if that bullet hits it, it's going to die. If you're shooting like a deer or a moose, then the max lethal range is totally different. So it's contingent on a million parameters. What kind of critter you're shooting at and what you consider to be lethal range.
Yeah. It will not kill an elk or a moose, I can guarantee you.
Oh, it'll kill it, just maybe not very effectively.
If you're close, and yeah, you have to have a heck of a shot to put one down.
What are your thoughts on the Collis 6-24i? Really nice.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very nice optic.
Collis is one of the most reputable manufacturers, true manufacturer.
Yep.
Not an assembler or component importer. They're primo.
Deep behind enemy lines, 338 or 7mm300. Depends on what you're trying to accomplish again, guys. 7mm300 is an incredible laser beam. For soft target interdiction at extreme range, that's a really nice way to go because it's very effective at getting there and killing a soft target.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're talking about you need more lethal power, more kinetic energy, things like that. The 338 Lapua Magnum is going to be very, very hard to beat. Also, the 330, there's going to be different dynamics too. The 338 Lapua is going to be a lot more kind on your bore and your brass. The brass is going to last a hell of a lot longer, and also your bore is not going to get smoked as fast. Now, you can get 1,000 or 1,500 rounds out of a 7mm 300. And it depends on your loads. You might be able to get a couple thousand or maybe even more out of a 7-300, depending on your rate of fire and on how hot you load it and all that stuff, and the bearing surface on the bullets you're using, and the twist rate, and so many different parameters. I really like the 338 Lapua for a lot of reasons, but the 7mm 300 I personally view as more of a special purpose round, which is for soft targets that are really far away, that's going to get there with a very good chance of a good lethal hit, because it's very accurate.
You have to be very, very proficient in reloading.
Is there a light in here, Val?
Yeah, let me
Yeah, we'll go for another 10 minutes, guys. Then me and Val are going to escape and eat some food. We didn't even eat today, man. Been partying like rock stars without eating.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Howdy, Seth Colby. Howdy, Rex and Val. Nice optic and mount. Any chance of the 6.5 Creedmoor BDC reticle for a PRS application, say 1 to 1,000 yards?
The BDCs, to be quite honest, they're kind of going away. Everybody is going to the .1 MRAD click, because you change one of the parameters.
Yeah, BDCs limit you more to like a very specific load, and then it has to be done right. And so for purposes of flexibility, it's nice to have the other reticle for certain applications.
Altitude, barrel length, on and on and on. You know, air density. As soon as you change one, you're off. So that's why the mil 1.0.1.
So Val is a guy that's into the MP8, which is very, very flexible, universally flexible. You can dial in any custom firing solution, hold over anything you need. Very good reticle.
Well, you can dial.
Or you can dial it straight in. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, will this mount to a 20-minute sniper Uzi mount? Gold version? This scope here? Did you make a 20-minute of angle mount for the sniper Uzis yet?
I'll be honest, I'm not familiar.
He doesn't know the joke.
The Uzi.
I was dead serious with it.
I know is like very compact.
But no, there's actually a new thing where they're trying to get sniper Uzis going, Val.
Sniper Uzi?
Yeah, it's a sniper Uzi, a gold-plated sniper Uzi competition.
Okay.
And they get all the Uzis, and they got to be gold-plated with heavy barrels, and they have very large scopes on them. And you're gonna need a brewski, aren't you, Val? I can tell this already.
It's a good one. No, but
he's all like,
make sniper rifles, you know what I mean?
Well, Val ain't gonna BS you.
I missed it.
Val's just like, what? Ooh. Oh no, I don't make that. Yeah, that was good. That was funny. I try to keep a straight face as long as possible. What's your opinion on the 7.62x51 Setme, or how do you say Chetme? How do you say that in Spanish? I don't know. It was a copper jacketed aluminum cartridge.
That's a copy of an HK, is it?
Yeah, or the HK is a copy of it. Actually, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the history on that. Eduardo was telling me something about that.
Popular. Then they started bringing it in with a Picatinny receiver.
Yep.
Rather than a claw mount.
And I don't know. Maybe you guys can straighten me. I'm not even going to quote stuff I'm not an expert on. So. Huh. What the heck? If I could buy a 1 caliber, what should it be? 22 long rifle. Fill your pockets with ammo. You have 1,000,000 rounds, like a 10-22. There you go, set for life. Put one of these bad boys on there. You can do your extreme range target interdict. No, but seriously, a 22s are really good if you could only have one rifle. I mean, if it came down to having to harvest meat, you can kill deer with that thing. It's not legal under hunting circumstances, usually. But you can kill deer with it if you pop them right in the melon at 25 yards because they're sneaky. It's a good survival rifle. I like 22, and you can shoot with it all day. You become great marksman, and if you ever find a different rifle, and yeah, I mean 22 is a great one caliber rifle situation. All right. How many minute of angle are you getting with the G2? 150.
150, 42 mils.
42 mils, guys. 150 minutes.
The MOA again.
That's a lot.
You probably missed it, but the MOA model should be available in the fall. The first ones are going to be all mil.
Okay. So the first batch of these guys are mil.
Yep.
And then in the fall they'll have the minute of angle versions.
Yep. Correct.
Rex, best scope for $2,000 or less. Also, would you go Badger Ordnance Rail and Rings? Sorry, one more question. Okay, all right, let's do one question at a time. For 2,000 or less, actually, you start really limiting yourselves in terms of the German stuff. It's not really available for less than that. If you're that $2,000 price range, I would, man.
Well,
A lot of this,
man.
yeah. I know. I don't want to look like I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
No, but you're right.
But who else?
I know. No, it's true. The IOR stuff is actually very good.
We have, I mean, as far as a mid-power kind of.
Yeah, in that $2,000 price range is where you guys have dominated.
3 to 18,
Yep.
42, 3.5 to 1850, 624 50, 624 50.
US Optics for a long time had stuff competitive in that price range too, but I haven't seen their new stuff yet, so I don't know. That's been my classic old choices. A lot of the other stuff, I would just either spend a bit more and get something way nicer, or spend a lot less and get more for your money. But the ones that are in that price range, other than IOR, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of other stuff in that price range that's really worth its good weight. You know what I mean? But IOR does a good job. $5,000 round cases are cool. Have I done any more testing on a Mercury stick? No, man. I haven't been shooting my Safari rifles lately.
When can we get our hands on this scope?
All right, last question of the evening. When can they find this thing, Val?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, the delivery date is set at May 23rd.
May 23rd, 2018?
So
Probably.
I would say give it 3-4 days after that. So
Now you're putting your butt on the line that that's on time.
I was assured.
I'm making him nervous now.
I'm not nervous. You know me. If I'm not
Mr.
sure,
Yeah.
I don't want to promise
But yeah,
ever.
it's very solidly looking like it will come in about
Right
2
on-
weeks. So.
Right on cue. Yep, right
Yeah.
on. As promised.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Val. I know that a lot of these guys wanted to get a chance to say howdy while I'm up here, and I have this tool now where I can just hit the live button.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool having you guys.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Love it.
And for the ELR course coming up this weekend, can't wait to see you guys out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a glorious time. We're going to try to record some of that stuff too, man, because
It's insane.
we're going to have a bunch of guys trying to hit at 3,000.
They will. I mean, that place is unbelievable.
It's going to be glorious.
It will be.
Rock and roll. Catch you around the campfire, guys. I think. What? We're still here. Hey, how you guys doing? Where's the millennials when you need them?
It's your stuff, man.
I don't know how this thing drives. Wait, what's this button? Hey, Val, you can answer questions while I'm finding the off button on here.
Okay.
For God's sakes. All right, there's a lot more questions here. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, that's the effects. Hey, oh, dude, check this out. Hey, guys.
Wow. Scary.
The buttons you find when you're looking for. Oh man, I didn't know about this. Hey, look, this is like that's I like this mode right here. That's cool. Yeah, it's boring. Oh, how about this?
Oh yeah.
So this is what it looks like through 100% Japanese glass. Here's what it looks like in nice, robust German glass. Lots warmer. And then this is thermal. You guys having fun or what? What the hell?
The balloon's going.
Hi, Val. You want to talk about the bubble scope? Wait. Wait a minute.
You lost your mind.
Okay, guys. As you can see, there's a bubble level.
Catch it. Catch the balloon, man.
Huh?
Catch the balloon right
Oh,
there.
yeah, catch the
There
bubble.
you go.
All right. You guys take care.